Get started.
Hey, folks! I think I don't know if we if
Let's
we
run
had.
it. Let's do the intro again, Toy Sorceress.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of a glitch here. So, folks, we're just going to back it on up, and we're gonna get into the Wayne's World Time Machine and back on up. Hi, everybody! We've got some great MOTU news for you, some GI Joe teases, and we have an extra special guest here with us today, the amazing Mega J Retro for Toy Habits Live, and we're gonna watch our intro one more time. Here we go.
And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat.
So I'm not sure. Hey, everybody! You're watching Toy Habits Live. I'm the Toy Sorceress, and of course,
I'm Mega J Retro, and you know what? We already had such a great time, and we're gonna have another. We're gonna have it all over again. This is amazing. We get to do it twice.
yeah. So
We get to do it twice, Toy Sorceress.
we get to do this twice. We're not sure if we had a glitch and we were live before or not. But if you heard anything we talked about before, erase your mind. We're starting over. So how are you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great. This is awesome. I've never gotten to do it twice before. This is wicked. So
I know.
guys, this is here. You know what? Here's the funny thing. So, Toy Sorcerers. I had the same exact technical difficulty yesterday when I was doing my. Yeah, I did. It took me 15 minutes to get started, and I had to like tell her, oh my god, I couldn't get the bag started, and everything was so weird, and I'm just glad to get started, and people were just laughing their butts off, and it looks like everybody's going crazy. They're so glad that Toy Habits is back on the air. So how are things with you, Toy Sorceress?
I am doing good. I am getting over a bad cold I had this week. So if I sound congested at all, that'll tell you why. I had to work through the entire week, so it was kind of rough. But I'm doing better now. And of course, Michael looks different today because we've got Mega J here. Michael is busy with Mother's Day festivities with his family. So Jay has been kind enough and gracious enough to bless us with his time and co-host today on Toy Habits Live. Jay, thank you so much. You are always an incredible friend. And my apologies if we weren't live before. I don't know what happened, but we are live now. So what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and again, I will say hi to the crew, and we had everything up and loaded before. So let's this doesn't fare well for my first time hosting, does it?
No, it's okay. It's okay. There are a lot of people in the chat right now. I see Joe Coolman. I see Emerald Knight Photos. Good to see everybody.
Let's see. I'll run through the names again. We got Frank Pryor, Beast Mode, Clint Jorgensen, Mike V, All Music Fan. You can name them off if you want, Jay. Thomas Bagalanka.
Giraffe is in the house. King Panther is in the house. We got Mike Fee. We got Thomas B.N. Carzoa. I hope I screwed that up. I know I did. I apologize. Black Phoenix 27. Yeah, we got so many great recognizable faces. We're all friends here in the toy community, of course. We see Allison Troy. Good to see her. And Cora Burlett. Good to see you, my friends. All the way from Germany, Cora.
Wow.
Clint Jorgensen. Very good to see you, my friend. Derek Dalzell. Good to see you, of course. I got Ninja Turtles fighting in the background. If anybody's wondering what that is, Joe Coleman is good to see you too, my friends. Lots of familiar faces here. It's so great.
Yeah, I think I'm just running through the names real quick. Oh, we got a couple more. We got the Crazy Colonel is in the house. Meredith is in the house, and I think I'm just running through the names because we got a lot of people here. Robert Alessandrini is here as well as Emerald Knight Photos. Too Bad Dad is in the house.
Well. Too Bad Dad. Leon is in the house. Yeah, lots of great fans.
Yeah, Brad. Knuckle Supper. Okay, so Mr. Home Arcade is here too, and Juan, Pablo, as well as Jose Avila. So welcome everybody. Welcome one more time. And I'm just going to throw the names up on the screen. We don't have to read through them again, but welcome to the crew. We have an amazing crew, by the way. Such a fun group. Have a great time on the Discord. Welcome to everybody. And we've already read this off once, so we don't know if we were live or not. So my apologies. We're not going to read them all off again. But hi to our crew. And the crew's been sending in some amazing photos of all of their Toy Habits merch. So we just wanted to share that. Joe Coleman with his awesome Mego Wonder Woman shirt with the Toy Habits logo that looks incredible. That was a custom design for Joe. Giraffe over there with his hat being taken away by Turbodactyl and Squeeze trying to recover it. Clint with some shenanigans over there at Target and showing off his incredible t-shirt collection of Toy Habits shirts that he has. And we've got Brennan Barnes with his doggy hanging out with his cool Toy Habits crew tumbler mug in the grass there. And of course, Allison Troy enjoying her brand new She-Ra t-shirt with all of her She-Ra figures surrounding it. So, and then this is Michael and I's growing Toy Habits merch collection, which we're just having a blast with. And if you guys all missed it earlier, Mega J mentioned that the He-Man Battle Cap mug was his favorite, and the Aroma Wars Stinky Duo Mossman and Stinkor was his favorite t-shirt. So
the Aroma Wars, that's right.
The Aroma Wars, which I will dub and change the name.
Don't get in the middle of the Aroma Wars. You will regret it. Trust me.
I love that when you came up with that. That was hilarious.
Of the Aroma Wars. That's a dangerous place to be. A very, very dangerous place to be. See some wonderful familiar names in the chat. Thank you guys for being here today. It's always a great time to be able to hang out with Toy Habits, the Toy Sorceress, and Michael, of course, is away on very, very important business. Toy Sorceress, he's got to take care of something which everyone should be taking care of this weekend if you haven't already. Happy early Mother's Day to everybody who's celebrating it today. Toy Sorceress, happy early Mother's Day to you. And how are you guys celebrating Mother's Day today? Tomorrow?
It'll be a pretty quiet weekend, so pretty low-key Mother's Day weekend. How about you, Jay? You doing anything fun or exciting?
Yeah, of course. I'm tomorrow. I'm gonna hang out with my mom. I'm gonna hang out with her and her family.
Yeah.
Gonna hang out with Dex, and we're gonna veg on the couch. Actually, Dex is gonna be Dex likes to barbecue, so we're gonna be barbecuing all day. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we picked up all the meats.
That's fun.
Picked up all them meats. So yeah, we got
yummy.
We got food for days. Really, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And awesome. Yeah, it's basically just a hangout, regular hangout session. Probably play some video games. Probably watch some movies. Cool stuff like Ninja Turtles over here. Yeah, so it's all good. So again, happy Mother's Day to everybody. And this is gonna be a really good fun weekend.
Fantastic. So we got a lot of news. I guess we'll dive into it since we had a kind of false start there. So we're taking a look at some new in-hand images that came up for the Masterverse Whiplash. Let's dive into that. And it looks like a couple toy tubers out there got some advanced samples from Mattel. And thank you very much to Unparalleled Universe for sharing their photos of the new Eternia Whiplash, as well as Toy Shiz, who did an incredible review of Whiplash yesterday. And we've shared a lot of his images on our site. So thank you to Toy Shiz. Of course, have given him all the source credit for that. And if you haven't checked out Toy Shiz's YouTube channel, be sure to do that. It's an incredible channel. And I just love the way he reviews toys. And it's like, I always feel like going and getting a nice, fresh, hot cup of coffee, like he always says, and curling up and watching his reviews. So they're a lot of fun.
He's got just a smooth way of operating, and he's got that great presentation style. So yeah, definitely head over to Toy Shiz and check out. He also has early links, just like Toy Habits, all the time. So it's always fun to hang out with those wonderful friends whenever we can.
Yeah. No wonder.
Yeah, he's looking beastly. As a figure, Toy Sorceress. I can't believe the pack out. The pack out is really what really gets me with this guy. It's just a lot of stuff. So yeah, this is very exciting. And you know what? I do have to say this though. I find it interesting that that Mattel is really sort of letting the fans do a lot of their marketing, and I think it's an interesting move. But you know what? Who better to hype it up than the fans, right? I mean, seriously, this is a great, in my opinion, it's a great move by Mattel
Yeah.
to let you know toy tubers and other other people in the industry, who are really close to this stuff, make the first showcase of it. I think that that's a lot of fun. And here's a great example of that right here. I mean, he looks incredible.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's dive in and take a closer look here at Whiplash. And he looks huge in his box. So do you think this looks like the size of the Beast Fan box?
Honestly, I think
The oversized?
it's either exactly the same size or possibly even slightly bigger. Because
Yeah.
he is a beastly character. I mean, the
Yeah.
tail is just absolutely massive.
Mhm.
He's got this crazy pack out. The armor set, the additional tail. The additional weapons that he comes with. The again his traditional more traditional head sculpt,
Mhm.
and everything that he comes with. Um,
Yeah.
and even that spear, it's so true. It's so much like the original toy. It's just a lot of fun.
Mhm. I love the bright orange color of it too. That they kept it like, his original toy color. So that was great. A great nod.
Yep. And of course, I love the fire effect on his torch.
Mhm.
Like that's something that it's just
Yeah.
huge. Like it's a really fun effect, and makes him look like one of those. Again, he almost seems as if he could actually fit in to a different toy line.
Oh yeah.
Definitely Mythic Legions. He could definitely fit in with Mythic Legions. I think that you
Hmm.
put him in with the Mythic Legions guys, he would not look out of place with them.
Yeah, and then also what's that new Animal Kingdom? He kind of, has a little bit of that vibe too,
Sure.
even though he's sort of,
Absolutely. What was it called then? Warriors of the Animal Kingdom or something like that.
yeah,
Really great stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I think he looks fantastic. And we also got to take a look at his box art here, which they did an incredible job. And he looks his face in this image has a very like classic Whiplash look. I really appreciate that. And of course, he is wearing his new Eternia armor. And it's kind of neat where you can see sort of, the fur that kind of wraps around the armor's inner side. Like if you actually were wearing armor, you would love to have that fur to make it more comfortable.
Oh yeah. It could be art, it could be leather, but I think the
Yeah.
fur allows it for a little bit more comfort.
Hmm.
As a warrior. So yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, this is great. So he's looking fantastic. And here, thanks again to Toy Shiz for these next set of images. But we can see what Whiplash looks like outside his armor and in his more classic Whiplash look. And I think he looks really great. Like this, just on his own. If this was all that we got for Whiplash with his spear, I would be more than happy and satisfied. But yeah, we got all of this other stuff. So it looks like the helmet is a separate piece, so it's not an alternate head, which is really cool. You can just put the helmet on and off him.
Yeah, I was surprised by that actually. I thought he was getting an
Mhm.
extra HUD sculpt, but you know what? That's cool. I really do like that.
Yeah.
And the if I was to say anything though, I just sort of miss his middle tooth. That's the one thing I
Yeah.
think I really miss. But other than that, he looks great.
Yeah. I think he looks fantastic. Some people like didn't like the middle tooth because it looked like it was going in his nose. Some people like it, like if you're a purist, and that's like the way Whiplash is supposed to look. I never minded it. I thought that was like his signature look, so I kind of miss it too. But I love his bright green colors of his, his lizard skin or whatever you want to call it, and then his base body armor has a lot of great detail in it. They didn't just go ahead and like take the old like buzz off or clawful type body and just modify it. This is a whole new sculpt for him, right? You can see here in the shoulders, he's got a lot more detail going on, and of course on his arms and legs, all of kind of that scales and little bumps and things that I guess a lizard would have. I think he looks fantastic, and they did a wonderful job.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely think that they sculpted in a new buck, and I'm glad that they took the extra time. And I'm really impressed at the way the tail actually attaches to the character. But his overall
Mhm.
pack out with everything included, the extra armor bits, the secondary belt, as I said, the flame effects for the torch and the axe and the spear itself, and of course, as you said earlier, the spear being a very toy inspired color, it just really
Yeah.
adds that extra value for our toy collectors who were looking to, for that little bit of nostalgia. I mean, his belt is like this big, huge, bright orange, similar to his spear. It's
Oh,
like,
I actually love that.
yeah,
You're absolutely right. That looks great.
yeah,
And
very much like the toy.
one thing I was gonna point out, you can notice that the torch is a two-part accessory, so you could use that as kind of like another weapon if you wanted to, without the flame effect on there. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mace or something like that. So it
Yeah,
looks
like
like a lot of fun.
hmm And here we can see Whiplash all geared up, holding the torch and his axe, wearing all of his armor, and he looks incredible. And there's a close up of his face. Again, it's like it's like you can see the little indent there. You want to put his extra tooth in.
He's
What do you
even
think of the head sculpt, Jay?
Yeah, yeah, no, he looks great. Very much more like a traditional version of Whiplash. He's even got a bit of a snaggle tooth right at the top, which is really cute. You know what I mean? It gives him a
hmm
little bit of a personality.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. And I believe this is, well, we don't know for sure, but we're thinking it may be a Target exclusive. I know there are some questions in the chat. It has not been confirmed yet, but just like Beastman was before, and some of the other deluxe figures, and Too Bad, they started out at Target, and now you can get them on Amazon and other retailers. So I'm thinking they'll probably go the same route. What do you think?
No, for sure. I think Jay over at so many Jays. So I think Jay over
I
at
know, right?
Toy News International. I think he said that most of these are called timed exclusives, where they have them for
hmm
like 6 months to a year, an exclusive, and then all of a sudden they'll start rolling them out to other
Yep.
distributors. So yeah, if you can't find it at Target, because I don't have a Target,
Yep.
definitely just be patient, and they should be rolling them out. I saw some comments about another figure who is popping out hidden in and there, but I think we'll get to that character a little later. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely Whiplash here is a lot of fun.
He is, and here you can see there's a my apology, a close up of the crotch shot there, so you can see his
Woohoo!
furry loincloth and his
Woohoo!
tail coming from behind. But this is really cool. So you see how his tail
Emotional
attaches.
damage.
And as Michael likes to say, the extra armor he comes with covers up the family jewels, I guess. Um, Michael's hilarious when he talks about that.
Oh
But
yeah, gotta protect
this is
them. Gotta
great.
protect them. Gotta protect them
Yeah.
nuts. Gotta protect them nuts.
It's priceless, right? Here you can see how Whiplash's tail connects, and it is a separate piece packed in the box. But I believe Toysha's mentioned that this is like a bendy tail with a bendy wire, probably thicker. But you can sort of pose it around. So what do you think about
Is it a
that?
bendy? Is it a bendy?
He
Is it a
said it
bendy?
was like slightly. It's not
Huh?
just rigid.
Really? Well, I would imagine it's definitely a flexible plastic, right?
hmm
Malleable, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure it looks too bendy, because you know how bendies have those little breather holes. I've always wondered what those are
exactly.
for. Yeah,
Which
so
maybe they're underneath. I don't know, but it looked
maybe
like he was kind of. He did mention that it was sort of a harder, thicker bendy tail. But I guess
cool.
we time will tell when we have him in hand.
That's awesome. Very very cool.
Yeah, yeah. And here he is looking absolutely fantastic with the rest of the bunch of characters. So we can't wait to get him. As soon as we get any news about Whiplash being available at Target or anywhere else, we will put him up on our site and get you guys all the information as we always do.
Sweet. Can rely on Toy Habits to deliver the goods. Awesome stuff.
Fantastic. Yeah, so Frankie says that he did mention it's not as bendable as he would like it to be. Exactly. He said it was kind of thick. So we'll see how flexible it is, but it was a semi bendy wire. Um And we did get a little bit of other MOTU news. Thank you to our very own Allison Troy for keeping us up to date. One of our fantastic crew members. She just launched her own YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out. Retroid Toy Princess, I believe. Allison, that is your new channel. Congratulations. And she let us know that the trademark for Vikron was just recently renewed by Mattel. And if you guys don't know who Vikron is, Vikron was the name that they gave the original character that Mark Taylor came up with, or the character that was based on Mark Taylor's original sketches. And
Yep.
the story goes. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I said, yeah. Those are definitely the original. Again, some funky designs, especially to do with the tank head. That always makes me laugh, right?
Yeah.
Classics eventually did their own take on these, as you have mentioned here.
Mhm.
But yeah, the fact that they've actually retrademarked Vikron is a very interesting move. Again, we as fans are always interested in these little tidbits of news because it usually means something along the lines that they're trying to keep the copyright alive for some reason, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because Hasbro has famously lost many of their trademarks on and regained them back years later for many of their Transformers and many of their other action figures. So it's always interesting to see that happening with the Master Universe as well.
It is interesting, and we have some sources close to Toy Habits that are telling us that there may be a Vikron in the works, but this has not been confirmed. So we can't say anything official. But it looks like it would be pointing to a Masterverse release, which this figure would be perfect for, because again, you can change out, just like the classics figure, the basic He-Man Buck, and add in his various different armature to create the different looks for Vikron. So you got the barbarian look. That was the original, He-Man design with the furry back on it. And then we got Mando He-Man, as Michael liked to call him. So this is this spaceman look, but he definitely has a Boba Fett Mandalorian-esque helmet there, right? And then of course
definitely
Tank Head as the old toys that made us
this
executives like to
this
call
guy's
it.
just out of this world. Like I'm
I know.
totally. He looks like some sort of like he's just out. Like where did they come up with this? Like honestly, it was just like totally throwing out something against the wall, hoping it sticks. Right. Actually, if you scroll back up to Vicor, keep going. Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
Scroll back up one more. I love that square head. I love the square head peg. Like we should just have him. Somebody should just leave him like that on their display shelf. I think that would be absolutely crazy. It'd be so funny. I mean, you have tons of He-Mans anyway. Just leave him like that. Looking so good. I don't even think he has ears. You know what I mean? Like that's how cool he is. He is so cool. That is the most unique He-Man I've ever seen.
It is, and they did use the more classic He-Man face sculpt, if you notice, on this one, which is nice because that's got the more traditional look for He-Man. But it would be incredible if they released a deluxe set like this that included all of those extra armature pieces to create the different looks for him. I don't know how much I would display him as Tank Head or Bullet Head. I mean, I guess the Mando He-Man look is pretty cool. My favorite would probably be obviously the Barbarian one, but still a lot of fun. And I could see people buying probably 3 sets of these to be able to display him in all his different various looks, right? So that would be very cool. So look forward to maybe a Vikron in the future. And this one was really neat because he had a jetpack, totally ripped off from Boba Fett. You can see right here, that's Boba Fett's jetpack in the back. And of course, his signature helmet design, which is very cool. And then a Bullet Head over here. I mean, Tank Head, this guy is ridiculous. Like, you can kind of see a face in there.
Yeah.
with the little turret, but that is hilarious.
Honestly, he looks great though. Like seriously, like they did what they could, and this, of course, is the classics design, where our good friend Scott Knightley, did his best to create characters, which would reuse the molds and not cost too much money.
Hmm.
But again, these
Yeah.
are wonderful nods, and that's the key. They're wonderful nods to
Yep.
the
To
way
these
to
originals.
the history of
Yes.
Masterverse. And realistically, if you think about it in that way, they're wonderful pieces to have.
Hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, these were San Diego Comic Con exclusives. Is that what they were, or were they? Were
I
they
believe I believe it was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive set that came out in classics.
Absolutely.
And Allison says the original concept figure was made using parts from 12-inch Kenner Boba Fett. So I believe that one.
Ooh.
And what they did was they actually molded over a Big Jim 12-inch action figure and added extra clay for his musculature to be able to create what you see here.
It's funny, that would never fly today. That would
No.
never fly today. That would have. It actually might be part of why this didn't actually come out the way it did. I mean,
Yep.
and it's just kind of ridiculous. But you can see the progression here. I mean, He-Man became He-Man. Boba Fett there became Stratos, and Tank Man there.
Yep.
I'm imagining became Trapjaw or something along those
Mhm.
lines. So a
Yeah.
wonderful nod to the history of Master Universe.
I think it's incredible, and it'd be super fun to get something like this. And I would love it if they actually made him with like a soft goods furry, cape uh, that looked like actual fur. That would be kind of cool because they did do that with King Grayskull and stuff like that on the top of his cape. So adding kind of that extra layer would be a lot of fun. So we'll see. None of this is confirmed. It's not official from Mattel or anything like that. But we have some sources pointing us to this, so it's always fun to speculate, right?
It is always fun to consider what is possible, especially considering the fact that they did just renew their trademark. Um, and I'm not 100% sure on how trademark law works, but I didn't even know you could renew a trademark in that sense. But I do love the idea that possibly somewhere hidden in the back of my mind that Vicor is another
Mhm.
character in New Eternia, right?
Yep.
A new ally, if you will, who is or perhaps even a distant
Mhm.
version of He-Man, right? Who comes through to the
Yes.
multiverse and does something new and exciting, right? I think that's really very cool.
Yep. That could be, it's basically one of the original He-Men that was protecting Castle Grayskull, probably in Preternia. This would be actually a really great, segue into Powers of Grayskull as well, to bring us back to the original
It would
part
it
of the
would be
line.
it would definitely be
Yeah.
something very, very interesting.
Hmm. And we got some other incredible teases this week as well. And I know this was hot on the heels of an awesome custom playset that you shared also, Jay. But it was a tease for the Eternos Palace that we got off the Skeleton Warriors 2-pack. Now these warriors look fantastic. Did you pre-order these, or did you order multiple sets?
Absolutely,
I know I ordered two.
absolutely. I got two sets as well. I got two sets as well. Yes, 100%.
You have to, right?
No, you
You
have to.
you have to.
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta be set up around your Eternia playset, right? I mean, you need multiple skeleton warriors, but this is not the first time. And you can see Eternos Palace back here, but it's not the first time that Eternos was teased to us, right, Jay?
Yeah, they were. It's funny because seeing
Hmm.
this artwork is an
Hmm.
exact parallel or
Yep.
mirror image to
Yep.
the earlier released Eternian Guards
Exactly. So we're gonna,
box art.
which is right here.
Yeah,
You could see that clear
absolutely.
as day. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. so so like as we get these things teased more and more, that it could be something
All
coming
all
to
we have to say
fruition.
is that was a year and a half ago, right? When
Hmm.
when when that came out, and all of a sudden, fast
Yeah,
forward a year and a half later, and we got Skeleton Warriors. So the fact that
exactly.
Eternos is in the background, wink,
Hmm.
wink, is that a clear cut indication that um, what's it called? Hasbro, sorry, Mattel is thinking about these things. And actually, you know what? I'll take this opportunity to actually just mention that, and I'm pretty sure Toys R Us, you and Michael have already confirmed this as well. But I was able to also I was speaking to a very credible source on
Hmm.
my end, and they did actually confirm multiple things that have been talked about this past few weeks. Um,
Wow.
including including crossovers, including
Hmm.
different types of releases for 2024.
Hmm.
But the one piece of news that was brand new to me that I hadn't heard before was the actual, and we still have to treat this as rumor because even though it's from a
Hmm.
credible source, we still have to treat this rumor. But my source has actually said that the these were call to orders to see if anybody
Hmm.
was interested in buying any of these products. Okay, and one of the things that they mentioned in a conversation while they were talking about new figures from Master Universe
Hmm.
was that a playset, a new playset that is not Snake Mountain, is being considered for a holiday release, uh, or at least a holiday solicitation. So
Hmm.
they wouldn't. Well, they explained it a little bit further, but I don't want to bring out
Hmm.
too many things like that. As a matter of fact, as I said last night, I'm gonna let everybody here contemplate on that and just make some educated guesses. But the fact that we're seeing Eternos on
Hmm.
box art as well as
Yep.
other play sets have been teased on box art, it's
Yep.
interesting that that piece of news should be coming
Yes.
out. Saying
It,
that another
it
play
is.
set is actually in the works or is being considered. That's not
Hmm.
Snake Mountain because Snake Mountain's done. Snake Mountain's ready to
Yeah.
go. Snake Mountain
It's.
will be available soon. So that's going to be very
Mhm.
very interesting.
I think it would be incredible. And here you can see a concept for a never released, obviously, classics version of Eternos Palace. And the neat thing here is, you could definitely see this being an Origins playset because you got somewhere to park your Wind Raider, and that thing can like pop right on with its the different various connected uh pieces there. So you park the Wind Raider up there. You got a place to park your Road Ripper or Ground Ripper, whichever one you want to call it. There's a little garage down on the bottom as well. A staircase up to the royal throne room area, which I'm sure is in the backside of this playset. And we do already have King Randor. So we do got to get a Queen Marlena, and there's plenty of palace guards already. They have nothing to guard right now, right? So we've got this thing starting to fill up here. So Mattel, give us Eternos. There's a lot of signs that can point to them easily doing a playset like this.
100%, and I'm very excited at the possibilities and that this could possibly bring. So many different things which are coming across the way. Um, the the custom playset that Candel Studios was able to showcase on their Instagram page is just almost like
Yes.
a concept, an actual concept,
Hmm.
which could be utilized by so many different
Yes.
places. As a matter of fact, people have actually taken the original Crystal Castle and
Hmm.
repurposed it for Eternos. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of opportunities to go forward here. So it's amazing.
I think they could do an incredible job at an awesome playset for Eternos. So I am super excited. Keep up the good work with the Teases Mattel, and I can't wait for these guys to come out because they're gonna look just incredible, and they've got packed in with their own individual mini comic there, and of course all of the different various weapons that you can see in here, and the two uh, different style skeleton warriors, which is going to add a really great look to your display because you can army build these. I mean, these are going to look great, and I can't wait to see them glowing in the dark with their little glow in the dark eyes. Also, that's going to be fantastic. So super exciting news on that end. We also had a few MOTU items pop up on retail listings. Now, the first one I'm going to go over is we had a leak list of a few characters, which included new Eternia Trapjaw, new Eternia Man at Arms, the Masterverse Revolution Skeletor figure, and the Revolution Sorceress Tila. Now, there was a leak about these characters, and lo and behold, a week or so later, um, pre-orders pop up on Collector's Bay. Now we don't know if and they're caveating that that they are expected to be released in February 2024, but they're not officially confirmed. So changes and cancellations could be blah 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 blah. But the point being is we don't know if they were doing this on the heels of the leak, or that they are actually a small confirmation that maybe the characters are really coming out. But the listings are up, and we'll see if they come up. But here's some screenshots on our article of their various different listings, and this is a German toy site, but it's the same site that Mossman popped up on, if you remember, Jay.
Yeah, actually, to stoke the fire, I will say that the same retail source who confided in me also said that, and he said, you can talk about this, but you didn't hear from me, and that's fine, right? So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that yes, I have heard that the calls to order, which is exactly what that is, for retailers, now fan channels, has actually gone out. Right, so yes, and it's the exact same list that was leaked out a couple of like a week and a half ago.
And I folks, I believe what Mega J is saying. He's been right in the past, and I'm not going to say when, but absolutely right about some upcoming stuff. So Jay, I trust you implicitly on that. I think it's a very well likelihood that we do get these characters coming up in the Masterverse line. So these are from the Revelation cartoon at the end of the second season, as you remember, and so we'll see. And I'm happy to see that they're going to be doing a new Eternia Trapjaw figure, because the first Revelation version that we got of Trapjaw was he was okay, a little silly with the extra ceremonial garb that he had. And then his face was a little wonky, kind of that wide jaw. And then when his mouth flopped open, you can see kind of the bottom side of his mouth. So not the typical trap jaw that we were used to, but he was okay. I don't know if this new one is going to have more of a mini comics look, or if he's going to look more like a traditional trap jaw and maybe have some swap out parts to make them look like the mini comic look. But what do you think about Trapjaw and how they're going to treat him?
You know what? They didn't say it was it's not listed as a deluxe. So I mean, like it's going to, regardless of what happens, it's going to be very interesting how they pack him out. Because if as we know, he is the master of mechanics, right? And he's just got so many different available swappable parts and things, which make him such a fan favorite in terms of his overall look. I mean, the Mondo version, which is coming out right now, is just absolutely beastly, right? So on that level, I wonder if Mattel might reconsider and make this to a deluxe figure, packing him out similar to the way they did Whiplash. But he has these two distinctive type of looks, which one is kind of goofier for the Filmation style, and the other one's kind of like more robotic and more menacing, given to the idea of the 2000X edition, right? So I would definitely love to see a newer take from New Eternia on that. Because we have seen him in Revelations, we have gotten him for Revelations, but I definitely would like to see a New Eternia version on that.
Yeah, I think he would, whatever new treatment that Trapjaw gets, I think he's gonna look incredible and be a vast improvement on the first version that we have of him. Now, Man at Arms. So I'm a little torn on this one because I've already got two Man at Arms figures, and they were both great. But they were both from Revelation, so I guess it's a good thing that this is labeled as a new Eternia Man at Arms, because that's a more traditional version that we don't have of him, and I can see them, doing maybe two different head sculpts. I'm not sure, adding that furry fur trim to his armor to give him kind of more of that classic look. But what do you think about Man at Arms? Yet a third version of him.
So there was if we look at the original Mark Taylor design there, I mean they ended up releasing that as the sort of Powers of Grayskull edition at San Diego Comic-Con, right? The Lords of Power. right?
Yep.
They did
Yep.
actually. No, it was a PowerCon exclusive actually on
Mhm.
that level.
For Origins. Yep.
Yes. So I wouldn't mind getting that version. You know what I mean? However, just like the Mondo version, which is right in the middle there. I mean, seriously, you could definitely get a really cool looking Man at Arms, or they could
Yeah.
take a completely different departure on this and do something very very unique, which would be refreshing. But I'm always into. Here's the reality. I'm always into characters that can build armies, right? So you
Mhm.
give them a slightly different head sculpt, and just like what Hasbro tends to do with their like their what's it called, their Hoth Rebel figures,
Yep.
their Endor Rebel figures, right? You could definitely do something along this line, or
Yeah.
as we do know with Mattel, they tend to just release a brand new army builder, Eternian Guards. So again, it's
Yeah.
up in the air on that
I mean,
level.
you actually have a really good point, because by just maybe simply having maybe one different piece of armor and an extra head, you can then create an army builder character to make the Eternian Royal Guard. So that would be awesome, and then that would make it a lot more worth it, since we already do have 2 other Man at Arms figures. I think that would make it great. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with these, but that is some incredible news. And I also heard that there might be some MOTU Revolution news coming out this weekend for the Netflix animated series, and that is yet to be seen. I don't know if
Yes,
you've heard anything more about
yes,
that.
yes, yes. The Instagram page, page and YouTube channel, Toon Juka, I believe is how it's pronounced. He
Mhm.
basically has I believe he works in the animation industry and has basically on good authority has said that there should be some news for revolutions coming out this weekend. So hang on to your hats, everybody. This could be really really big stuff.
Awesome. And um, on that note, we also did get a couple more retail news on some new listings for Origins figures on Target.com. But shortly after we posted this, and we did take screenshots, so both Wave 13 and Wave 14 showed up on Target. We got their DCPIs, we got their TCIN numbers and UPC barcodes. Michael captured these incredible screenshots. Thank you, Michael. And I think a day or two after you put this up, and I did save them on my favorites too, they're now gone. Target took them down. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. I think we also found Ram Man and Clawful for Masterverse on Target's website, and then shortly thereafter they got pulled. So you can see absolutely we had the screenshots of them there, and their listings are now pulled. I don't know if someone made an oopsie and just put them up too early, but the same thing happened with Wave 14. If we go ahead and take a look at these. And all of Wave 14 was up on Target, which was really cool. There you can see Snake Man at Arms, and lo and behold, his listing disappeared. So I don't know if I'm sure they'll come back up. Maybe someone put them out too soon, but they were on there, and at least now we have the information. So if you are in store, you can still use the DCPI information or the barcode. And the great thing is, and if you guys don't know what to do with the DCPI, basically walk up to any Target employee that's got one of those PDAs in their hand, and if you gave them that little DCPI number, which is right here, this this long digit number that starts in 087, they can look it up on their PDA device and see if they have any of the characters in the back. And then same thing with the UPC code as well. And then when we do get images of the barcodes themselves, you can actually take the photo of the barcode and scan it in store at one of those price checkers, and it'll pop up on there as well. Now, one thing to tell you guys, if you do scan something at Target on the barcode little price checker machine and it says like not in stock, not in the back, I wouldn't trust that. Go ahead and still ask an employee to check for you, because a lot of the times I've gotten stuff by asking with a DCPI number. Lo and behold, they had stuff in the back, and that price checker machine says none in stock in the store. So That's your best bet, is to talk to an employee, save those DCPI numbers, start checking your targets, especially for Wave 13, because they've been out. We know they're produced. We know they're shipped. A lot of other people already have them in hand. So it's just a matter of time for Target to start getting those.
Yeah, it's what tends to happen here is most companies to get a head start on the next what's it called quarter, they'll just
Mhm.
get things on top of their site to get ahead of the game. And
Yep.
normally, what tends to happen is they're street dated, and
Mhm.
they don't want to misrepresent, so they'll put them up. Somebody, and the thing is that all of us are chomping at the
Yeah.
bit to actually find out more information about this, and we're so excited when we see something flash up on the screen. And of course, Toy Habits is always on the sleuth to get the information out there. But no matter what, this is proof positive that everything is returning to retail, and I think that
Yes.
we should all be grateful for that.
Mhm.
But as always, I always tend to try and be the voice of reason here, not here, but I mean like on in the community, and basically say, don't crap on guys like Scott Knightley. I mean,
Yeah.
he truly believed what he was saying. He kept
Mhm.
going, when nobody else would say anything, and you have to respect that at the very least. Now,
Mhm.
I will go ahead and say that his game is getting old, and again, as much as I respect Scott, I think he's got to start, just coming to the realization that it probably is not going to end this year. And as I
Yeah.
said earlier, um, uh, he did say and did apologize and said, "Okay,
Mhm.
fine, I was wrong." And I think we
Yep.
all have to recognize that at the very least.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. He did apologize. I mean, sometimes you get information you think is from a credible source, a reliable source, and it could be at the time when he got the information that maybe that's the direction they were going in. And who knows? Maybe Mattel got such a strong fan reaction to it, and they said, "Wait a minute, maybe rethought their decision of whatever that memo was." I don't know, but at least Scott owned it, and you know the long and the short is it's not dead. It's not leaving retail. Motu is alive and well, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. More cool toys for us, and just keep them coming, Mattel, because it's just getting super exciting. Um, so I think that wraps up our Motu news. We did have some news on the GI Joe front, and as a matter of fact, we got a couple leaked images or in-hand images. First of all, we'll start out with the in-hand images of Copperhead and Torpedo. So these two figures are looking incredible. Thank you to GI Shark for supplying us with these really cool in-hand images that John Hendrick and Leon Hobb had sent to the Shark, and he was kind enough to share those with us. If you haven't checked out GA Shark's Instagram and YouTube channel, be sure to do that. He does incredible coverage on GI Joe. Thank you again for being a great friend of the channel. But Jay, what do you think of? I know we're going away from the windowless packaging, but the box art on these two figures is incredible. So I guess while we have it, these are really nice. What do you think of them?
absolutely. You know what, though, Toy Sisters, I do have to actually say that I do have to bow out early,
Okay,
unfortunately. We had that little hiccup at the beginning, so I wasn't
no,
sure
it's all good.
how long we were going to go. But thank you so much for having me tonight. It's always a pleasure to be here on Toy Habits. I'm so excited whenever you guys call and say, "Hey, would you like to jump on?" It's just an absolute pleasure.
And
Um,
Jake, thank you. You've been an incredible fill-in for Michael, and I really appreciate it. You're such a wonderful friend of the
oh,
channel, and you guys, you give a huge like, a follow, subscribe, watch Mega J Retro on his YouTube channel. He is just the kindest, biggest heart in the toy community, and I can't say enough kind words about you, Jay. I
Thank you.
mean,
The feeling is mutual, Toy Socials. You guys are incredible, and of course, a great resource for all toy collectors and the toy community as well. But to answer your question, I do appreciate the artwork
mhm,
that is being displayed on these packages. I think that they really
mhm,
are unifying the artwork for GI
mhm.
Joe, because for a while they were letting any of their artists basically go to town with the GI Joe artwork, letting the
Yep.
toys speak for themselves, which in itself is a good thing. But
Yeah, I
and you
totally
can
agree.
afford to do that when you're you're showcasing the toys themselves. However, it should be noted that if you're not showcasing the toys themselves, then you really do have to have a unified image and a unified design to
Yeah.
let people know that this is the brand that we're representing. And I do appreciate that as far as that
Mhm.
goes. But I think
Yeah.
moving forward, and I think it's the right decision from
Mhm.
Hasbro to go back to window
Absolutely.
packaging. If you
Mm.
want to reduce it a little bit, that's fine too. But do something
Yeah.
where people can at least see the product, because as much as they don't want to admit it, as
Yes.
much as they don't want to, say that they were
Mhm.
wrong, I do believe that there were a lot of people who were just not confident
Yeah.
to pick up figures, as just like gambling. Will you
Mhm.
get a good figure? Will it actually break? And it was exasperated by so many people just giving that
Mhm.
those examples when it was at all possible. So I think that really helped
Absolutely.
to drive that point home. So, um, but yeah, it's been an amazing afternoon. Thanks
Thank
again,
you,
Toy
Jay.
Sources. Really appreciate it. Always, it's a lot of fun here. Hanging out with Toy Habits. Once again, I want to wish everybody out there, all the mothers, this weekend, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and for everybody who their loved ones have moved on. We all remember them in our hearts, and thank you guys so much
Yes.
for being here. And don't forget, subscribe to Toy Habits. Definitely give them a like and a follow. Check out their website for all the latest news and information on all the toy lines. Thank you, Toy Stars, for having me. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Jay. You are an incredible friend. Thank you so much. Have a very happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the day with your family tomorrow. Thanks again for filling in for Michael, who's busy with his Mother's Day festivities. And just absolutely everyone follow, watch, subscribe to Mega Jay's channel because he is incredible. Have a fantastic night, my friend. And we'll let you go because I know you got to get to
Thanks,
your
Toy
family.
Stars. Everybody,
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody. We'll see you guys later. Okay,
Bye,
thanks.
Jay.
Bye bye. Oh, by the way, good
Bye.
journey and keep proud. Bye.
Bye bye. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these in-hand images of Copperhead and Torpedo, which are looking incredible. I think trying to see these now like in hand, that Hasbro has done an incredible job. The detail on these figures are just top notch. The face sculpts look great. We've got the beautiful Cobra logo here in the center, and all of this webbing that he has on here. Copperhead looks wonderful, and of course Torpedo as well, with all of his gear that he's ready to go underwater. He looks fantastic with his spear gun and his fins, and of course the breath mask and goggles connected to the air tank that he's got there, and Copperhead here with all of the accessories that he comes with, just looking so awesome and jacked. I think he even has a tattoo on his wrist right there, which looks incredible. And this person had a really fun time posing Copperhead, but yeah, he absolutely has a tattoo right there, which is really cool. I love that they're incorporating that into the new figures. And then here we can see Torpedo without his mask, which looks really cool. And all of his gear, taken off here so he can be on land or sea, attacking the Joe team. But here he is all geared up, and he looks great. Um, just a fantastic job on these figures. I think Hasbro is knocking it out of the park, and it looks like the quality of these figures is just vastly improved. And compared to the last wave that we got, that there was a little bit of mixed, I guess you can say, reviews on them. These look, their face sculpts are great, and all of their paint applications look fantastic. I think the quality is definitely improving, and we got some additional GI Joe news. There was a leak of the Arctic Bat. Now, if you guys remember, back when we saw Snow Job released, they had all the diorama images of him, and in the background you can see a very blurry image of a couple Arctic bats holding him up to gunpoint there. And that was probably one of the first like teases, because Hasbro doesn't normally do teases through their artwork and and they're diorama shots. But we saw a tease for the Arctic bat, and you can see he has kind of his more traditional head sculpt there. Well, the leak that we got for his package, you can see he has an incredibly different type of head sculpt with some kind of like camera sculpt on there, scope. And he comes with an awesome saw, so he can like chainsaw, I guess, pine trees down, which would be really cool. And some absolutely, gnarly rifle weaponry here. You can see all the gear he comes with on the box. But this is a really cool package. And again, we want to thank our friend over at GI Shark and T1 Toys for teasing this and sharing these images. Another great one that we're looking forward to. But you can see right here, he comes packaged with that big saw blade arm, which is very, very cool. And they are throwing in the traditional bat alternate head in the package, which is great. So you can have him with his like Hubble telescope head on there, or the traditional bat head, which looks great. So here's another close up of what he looks like. Just incredible. You can set up some really awesome scenes. And yes, his number is 69. And thank you, Frankie. For I know I've got to hold down the fort, which is all good. And my apologies if we had a false start. And I'll let you guys tell me in the chat. I don't know if we were live the first time and we got cut off, or it looked like we went live and then the signal dropped off. My apologies for all of you guys who will be watching out there in the replay. If the beginning of the show looks like it is not quite put together, it's because we had a small technical glitch in starting. But here we are. I think we're kind of getting to the end of the show anyway. I think the Arctic bat was the last thing we wanted to cover. But I don't know if you guys want to sound off in the chat, if you have any more questions, comments to add. We had a lot of MOTU and GI Joe news this week. You can find all of it on our website at toyhabits.com, as well as all our merch, which if you go to shop, you can go into the merch shop under official merch, and all of our merch is on here with all of these incredibly cool designs. And Clint, to answer your question, Jay's favorite t-shirt here was the Stinky Duo of Mossman and Stinkor, and then he really liked the He-Man and Battle Cat mug. So I know you were asking that question before. Also, if you guys haven't used this before, our shop pages are a great resource just to go in and take a look to help find completing your collection, if anything, or just to find quick links to retailers, because every time we dig up links for any of these figures, whether they be hidden or they're easier to find on the retail pages, we have them all on our shop pages. So they're for, MOTU, GI Joe, all of the different properties we have here. And any of these you go into, for instance, on the Masterverse page, we've got all the links, featured products here, but wherever you want to find the Talon Fighter on Amazon, BBTS, EE, all the different characters, all the way back to the beginning of the Origins line. You can find every single one of the figures on here and quick links to all the different retailers you love. And that goes for all the different lines in MOTU, in GI Joe, also for Thundercats. We got all of the Star Wars figures on here, and Michael did an incredible job putting together these Star Wars shop pages because there's just so many figures. We got Retro Collection, Hot Toys, Black Series, Vintage Collection, and then each of these have a ton of varying, sublines that come out of those, and they're all archived here. So all the figures for all these different lines, they're all here. There's links to find them. We want to make it easy and convenient for you guys to shop. We want to take the frustration out of finding toys out. And so we provide these, and they are affiliate links, so they do help the channel. They help support the YouTube and website. So thank you. If you guys do go shopping, please be sure to use our affiliate links. It would really help us out. It helps us keep going and share all of this great toy news with everyone. But anyway, if I'm just going to go through a couple of the comments here, and if we don't have anything else new. I'll be wrapping it up fairly soon. So Giraffe says 2023 is the year of Army Builder. It seems. Poor wallet. I absolutely agree. Yeah, there's way too many Army Builders. Way too many cool toys, as a matter of fact. And all our wallets are hurting. Elder Santos, yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone. We want to wish you all an early happy Mother's Day. We hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day with your families tomorrow. Have a great time, have a barbecue, eat a lot of food, and just hang out with the family. So Punk with Toy is a great friend of the channel. How are you doing? He's saying people are saying that the QC is better on the GI Joe figures, but to have them in hand before, I will say it is true. That's great. Yeah, I think they are improving quite a little bit. And Frankie mentions that these links helped him find a lot of things very quickly. Thank you, Frankie, for mentioning that. Not only with all of the modern toy lines that we love to collect, but we also went through and archived like all of the vintage, first 10 waves of G.I. Joe O-ring figures, 20th anniversary, 50th. So if you want to find or just go and use a wonderful checklist of all of the different waves, of your vintage O-ring G.I. Joe figures, we put this whole shop together and we archived, and there's quick links to the other waves here at the top. So they're all in order. So this is just showing you wave 3, nicely organized. These are going to be links to eBay because they're obviously vintage figures. That's the only place to find them. But they're curated links so that it goes straight to the figure. You don't get a whole bunch of other junk. And then all of the, vehicles and playsets that came out in that year, which is really cool just to be able to have like a source like this. It's kind of a little bit of a historic resource for G.I. Joe, as well as a cool place to sort of be like a little checklist of, things that you're looking for to maybe complete your various different waves for all these years from 1982 all the way through 1991. So this is a fun and fantastic resource. So just be sure to go ahead and check these out. It's a lot of fun and also a really helpful resource for all of you collectors. So with that, I think, we've extended the show late enough, but I want to thank you all for being here. And again, Michael is well and fine. He is celebrating Mother's Day with his family for the weekend, so he was unable to join today. But I want to thank him for being an incredible partner, for making Toy Habits what it is today, and just being such a wonderful host to all of you. Such an incredibly talented person, bringing Toy Habits to all of our community and allowing me to be a part of this. Thank you, Michael, so much. I know you'll be watching this in the replay. I apologize for the rocky start that we had. I don't know if it's a technical glitch. We'll have to look into that. So if you guys watch this video from the beginning, my apologies for whatever happened in the beginning of the show. We'll go back and figure it out on the replay. But thank you all for being here. And I am going to give a huge shout out to the Baroness of Toys. Thank you for being here, Baroness. I am just about to wrap up. But thank you to all of you. And because we had that glitch at the beginning of the show, I'm just going to say hello to all of our wonderful crew. If you didn't get to hear it in the beginning, I am going to run through the crew real quick on our way out and thank everybody for being here. So thank you to the Toy Habits crew. And we've got Kristen Miller, Retro Southpaw, Brennan Barnes, Trenton Dodson, Nomad Giraffe, Ryan Cole, Frankie Riviera, Dave Turner, Clint Jorgensen, Mr. Home Arcade, Brick Something, Daniel Huron, Tim Marks, Charlie Weaver, Part of Gray Skull, Baroness of Toys, Allison Troy, Payne's Toy Samples, Tom Walter, Frank Pryor, Joel Coleman, Robert Allen Vincili, Bo Hughes, Masters of the Mini Comics, Manic Plastic Toy Shop, and Studio Henge Kenton. My apologies. I just want to thank our crew. They are fantastic. Thank you for helping support the channel. All that you do helps us be able to put this content out for everybody. It's not easy. putting together a YouTube channel and a website when Michael and I both have full-time jobs. So we try and keep up with all the toy news as best as we possibly could. We thank you all for your support. Thank you for watching tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and just close it off. I'll give a huge hello to my partner, Michael. Happy Mother's Day to you and your family. Thank you, Jay, so much. Mega J Retro, we're going to thank him for being an incredible co-host today, for filling in for Michael. Please be sure to give a like, a follow, subscribe to Mega J Retro's YouTube channel and his MJR Collector YouTube channel. He is such an incredible force in the toy collecting community. He has such a warm heart and a great friend to Toy Habits. Thank you again, Mega J, for joining us today. Thanks, everyone, for a wonderful show. And we'll see you next week. And as a matter of fact, I will be on vacation next weekend. So Michael will be here with a co-host. It is my wedding anniversary next weekend. And I will be up in the woods with my husband, celebrating, taking the weekend off. And Michael will be here and joined by some fantastic co-hosts. So we'll see you all then. And in the meantime, have a great weekend all. Happy Mother's Day. And thank you for joining. Good night.